The Mediterranean shimmered, a gentle breeze whispered through the rigging of the luxurious yachts dotting the coastline. It was supposed to be a summer cruise, a celebration of wealth, success, and the promise of endless horizons. But for the passengers aboard the Bayesian, paradise would soon transform into a nightmare. The Bayesian, a 150-foot marvel of engineering and opulence, was no ordinary vessel. It was a symbol of its owner, tech tycoon Mike Lynch, a man who had risen from humble beginnings to conquer the world of software engineering. Lynch, the mastermind behind the Autonomy Corporation, had amassed a fortune, and the Bayesian was his crown jewel. On that fateful night, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the deck, the Bayesian encountered a sudden and violent storm. The storm, which seemed to appear out of nowhere, lashed the yacht mercilessly, tossing it about like a toy in a bathtub.
News of the Bayesian's disappearance sent shockwaves through the financial world and beyond. The tech industry mourned the potential loss of a visionary leader, while the families of those on board clung to hope, praying for a miracle.
The Bayesian was more than just a yacht, it was a statement. Every inch of its sleek design, from its helipad to its infinity pool, whispered of extravagance and unparalleled luxury. Inside, no expense was spared. Rare woods, imported marble, and original works of art adorned every room. The yacht boasted a state-of-the-art entertainment system, a fully equipped gym, and a master suite that rivaled the finest hotels in the world. It was a floating palace, designed to cater to the whims of the ultra-wealthy. But the Bayesian was also a technological marvel. Equipped with the latest navigation and communication systems, it was designed to sail the world's oceans with ease. Its hull, crafted from the strongest steel, was built to withstand the harshest conditions. How could such a vessel, equipped with the most advanced technology, fall victim to a sudden storm? This question haunted investigators and fueled endless speculation. Mike Lynch was a study in contrasts. A brilliant software engineer, he possessed a mind that could unravel complex algorithms and envision groundbreaking technologies. He was the epitome of the self-made man, rising from modest beginnings to build a tech empire. His company, Autonomy Corporation, revolutionized the way businesses analyze data, making him one of the wealthiest and most influential figures in the tech industry. But Lynch's world was not all ones and zeros. He was embroiled in a bitter legal battle with Hewlett-Packard, accused of accounting fraud related to HP's acquisition of Autonomy. Facing extradition to the United States, Lynch had become a fugitive in his own right, seeking refuge in his native Britain.
Was the sinking of the Bayesian a tragic accident, or was there something more sinister at play? The question hung heavy in the air, casting a shadow over Lynch's already complicated legacy.
The guest list aboard the Bayesian was a who's who of the tech elite, venture capitalists, and old friends. Among them was Jonathan Bloomer, the former CEO of Prudential, a man known for his business acumen and his air of quiet authority.
Bloomer and Lynch had moved in the same circles for years, their paths crossing at industry events and exclusive gatherings. But their relationship went beyond mere professional courtesy. They were friends, confidants who shared a passion for sailing and a love of the open sea.
Also on board were members of Lynch's inner circle trusted advisors, longtime business partners, and close friends who had been with him since the early days of Autonomy. Each passenger added another layer to the complex tapestry of relationships, secrets, and ambitions that played out on the deck of the Bayesian. As the storm raged and the yacht fought for survival, these relationships would be tested, secrets would surface, and ambitions would turn to desperation. Section 5. The Night of the Storm. A timeline of terror. The storm hit with the suddenness of a thunderclap. One moment, the passengers were enjoying cocktails on the deck, the air filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses. The next, they were scrambling for safety as the yacht pitched violently, threatening to capsize. The crew, seasoned sailors used to the capricious nature of the sea, sprang into action, battling to regain control of the vessel. But the storm, with its howling winds and towering waves, seemed determined to swallow the Bayesian whole. Mayday calls were sent, but the storm interfered, distorting the signals and making communication nearly impossible. Inside the yacht, panic set in. Passengers huddled together, their faces white with fear as the vessel groaned and shuddered. the relentless assault of the waves shaking it to its core. Minutes stretched into an eternity as the storm raged on, the fate of the Bayesian and all those aboard hanging precariously in the balance. Section 6. The Search for Answers, A Family's Desperate Plea. As dawn broke over the Mediterranean, revealing a scene of utter devastation, the search for the Bayesian began. Coast Guard vessels, aided by helicopters and private planes, scoured the choppy waters, their searchlights cutting through the early morning mist.
Please, if anyone knows anything at all, we just want our family back. We need to know what happened to them.
Hannah Lynch, Mike Lynch's wife, made a heart-wrenching plea for information, her voice trembling with emotion as she addressed the throng of reporters gathered outside their London home. Chris Morvillo, Lynch's lawyer, stood by her side, his face etched with concern.
We are doing everything in our power to find answers. The authorities are working tirelessly and we remain hopeful.
Days turned into weeks, and still there was no sign of the Bayesian or its passengers. The families of those lost clung to hope, praying for a miracle, but as time wore on, hope dwindled, replaced by a numbing grief. Section 7. Whispers and Speculation. The mystery deepens. The sinking of the Bayesian became a breeding ground for conspiracy theories. Some whispered that Lynch, facing extradition and desperate to avoid prosecution, had staged the whole thing, disappearing into the vastness of the sea. Others speculated that the storm was no act of nature, but a deliberate attack, orchestrated by shadowy figures seeking revenge for Lynch's business dealings. The lack of a distress signal, the suddenness of the storm, and the fact that no debris had been found fueled the speculation. Investigators, however, remained cautious, urging patience as they pieced together the events leading up to the tragedy. They pored over weather reports, analyzed the Bayesian's wreckage, and interviewed anyone who had contact with the yacht or its passengers in the days leading up to its disappearance. Section 8. The Legacy of the Bayesian. A warning unheeded? The sinking of the Bayesian served as a stark reminder of the unforgiving power of the sea. It also raised troubling questions about yacht safety, particularly for vessels catering to the ultra-wealthy, where luxury often trumped common sense. Were safety regulations being sacrificed in the pursuit of ever more luxurious and technologically advanced vessels? Were shipbuilders cutting corners, prioritizing aesthetics over structural integrity? The tragedy sparked a debate within the maritime industry, prompting calls for stricter safety regulations and increased oversight of luxury vessels. But as the initial shock and outrage faded, so too did the sense of urgency. Section 9. Epilogue, The Unanswered Questions. Years have passed since the Bayesian vanished beneath the waves, taking its secrets with it. The official investigation, while exhaustive, failed to provide any conclusive answers. The storm, deemed a freak weather event, remained the most likely explanation. But doubts lingered. The lack of a mayday call, the absence of debris, and the whispers of foul play continued to haunt the families of those lost, leaving them with a profound sense of unease. The sinking of the Bayesian, like the wreckage scattered across the seabed, served as a haunting reminder of the fragility of life, the capricious nature of fate, and the enduring power of unanswered questions.